The Obed Research Initiative. In continuation of my previous video where I discussed what forms the chapter 1 of your research topic or your project what forms the chapter 1. In my previous video I looked at a particular problem and dissected it in that regard. And in today's video, I want to continue with another topic. In this topic is also explained in one of my videos. The topic is entrepreneurship skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. I take it again. Entrepreneurship skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. That's a researchable problem, a researchable topic. It means that first and foremost we have to look at the independent variables and the dependent variable. You have to identify this because without these variables, you might manipulate on the wrong variables, which might lead to type 1 error by the end of your research work. So, first and foremost, we must identify the independent variable. The independent variable in this topic is entrepreneurship skills. Because without the entrepreneurship skills, then the women fishmongers in riverine area cannot carry out their operations. It means that for them to carry out their operations successfully, they need to identify or acquire these entrepreneurship skills. So entrepreneurship skills or entrepreneurial skills becomes the independent variables. Now in this topic, remember in research the independent variable must be manipulated upon. That's the variable you should manipulate on in order to get your objectives and research hypotheses and research question of your study. So in this topic, the first independent variable there is the first objective of the study is planning skills. Remember, we are looking at the entrepreneurial skills. So the first there is planning skills, organizing skills, marketing skills, purchasing skills, interpersonal skills. There are many other skills that could be acquired by these women, but for the sake of this research, we look at these 5 skills. Remember, we've identified them as planning skills, organizing skills, purchasing skills, marketing skills, and interpersonal skills. Now, these independent variables will be factored into the objective of the study. Then you have objective 1 to be the planning skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. The organizing skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. Marketing skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. Purchasing skills and interpersonal skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. By so doing, we now have our objective. We move straight to the research questions. All the objectives stated will now be converted to research question. When we say research question, what do we mean? Is to put the objective in a question form. In technical vocational education, we seem to avoid the yes or no type of question, like does, what, or you say something like, do they need these skills? Do they need planning skills? No. We avoid the use of yes or no. So you state the question so that it will lead to an open-ended questionnaire. I'll come to that later. I've just mentioned something, questionnaire. We'll come to that later. That is a discussion for another day. Now, how do we state the research question? It's something like, what are the planning skills needed by women fishmongers? You see, what I've just added there is what are the organizing skills? What are the purchasing skills? What are the marketing skills? What are the interpersonal skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State? Now let's go to the hypothesis. In this hypothesis, because we are dealing with these fish and we're dealing with women fishmongers, you choose who will actually give you the required information that you're looking for. You need people that will actually give you this. So for this research work, we use the lecturers and the fishery agencies. You know, the fishery agencies are those who are involved in the fishing business. Those who are involved in the fishing business. So here we have the hypothesis. The hypothesis stated here is stated in a null hypothesis form. There is no significant difference in the main responses of fishery lecturers and fishery extension agents on the planning skill needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. The second hypothesis, there is no significant difference in the main response of fishery lecturers and fishery extension agents on the organizing skills, on the purchasing skills, on the marketing skills, and interpersonal skills needed by women fishmongers in riverine areas of River State. You see, now that we are done with that, it means that we have to identify all the variables that are needed. All the variables introduced into this topic have to be discussed in the background of the study. And what are these variables? We have fishmongers, entrepreneurial skills. Then we have the objectives that were introduced, like the purchasing skills, the marketing skills, the interpersonal skills, the planning skills, the organizing skills. All these variables have to be discussed. You have to discuss them using at least 1.5 paragraph. I keep saying it, at least 1.5 paragraph in each of these variables. And like I said before, each paragraph should contain between 10 to 15 lines of sentences. 10 to 15 lines of sentences. If you're able to capture each of these variables objectively, you define them. If it is the objective that needed to be defined, you discuss them, the one that needed to be discussed, and summarily, you give your own view. You have to give your own view, either by definition or by explanation. Not only citing other authorities, but what is your own view? That is why it's called an intro, an introduction to the background of the study.